Imagine dedicating your entire life to a belief system and only to wake up one day and realize something isn't right. Over the last decade, around 2 million Jehovah's Witnesses have walked away from the faith they once believed was the truth. What can make such a huge number of people walk away, fade into the world they once feared? Today we uncover 10 major reasons why Jehovah's Witnesses are walking away from the faith in record numbers. We'll be going in the descending order. The first reason that has made Jehovah's Witnesses to walk away from the faith is relationship struggle and personal freedom. You know, the estimated number of people who have walked away as a result of this? 100,000. For most people, love and friendships are choices of the heart. But for Jehovah's Witnesses, these choices come with rules. Dating outside the faith, discouraged. Friendship with worldly people, a spiritual danger. Marriage to a non-JW, risk for your salvation. This control over personal relationships became one of the many reasons people decided to walk away. So Jehovah's Witnesses' social life is totally controlled. Governing body went as far as controlling the bedroom affairs. This has just now been relaxed, but otherwise they controlled what sexual relationships are considered immoral and which ones are considered as righteous. Recently, they came up with a ruling or a statement that was published that what happens in the bedroom is a personal affair because the Bible does not regulate what happens in the bedroom. Let's look at a fact check. Jehovah's Witnesses are discouraged friendships with non-Jehovah's Witnesses, branding it as bad association. Marriage outside the faith is highly discouraged. And imagine Jehovah's Witnesses are pressured to actually leave their non-witness spouses. Because in the Bible, marriage is marriage. If somebody got married, for example, before they got saved, or whenever somebody gets married, however they get married to witness, non-witness, especially to a non-witness, you cannot tell them to divorce. Here's a testimony of a former JW. I was engaged to someone outside the faith, and my elders told me to break it off or risk my standing in the congregation. I had to choose between love and my faith. I chose love. Personal relationship struggles is one of the reasons why 100,000 Jehovah's Witnesses walked away from the faith. But what happens if personal freedom is taken away in another area of your life? What if even the future is controlled? That's exactly what happened to the next 150,000 who left. And we are looking at higher education ban. The videos that I did referring to how the governing body discourages higher education, a lot of members of Jehovah's Witnesses, particularly from the Western world, argued that the governing body does not stop anyone from pursuing higher education. And yet, in the same videos, I had played several clips showing the governing body actually discouraging young witnesses from pursuing higher education. For many young people, education is the key to success, but for Jehovah's Witnesses, it's seen as a trap. The Watchtower discourages higher education, warning that it leads to materialism and worldly thinking. College is labeled as dangerous, and many young JWs are steered toward part-time work instead of pursuing university degrees. Let's look at the fact check. Jehovah's Witnesses actively discourage higher education, claiming it weakens faith. Source, Exit and Tale, 2022. Many young Jehovah's Witnesses actually leave when they realize their future financial status is being restricted. One former witness said, "I turned down a full scholarship because I was afraid Jehovah would be disappointed. Now, I see that was the biggest mistake of my life." And yet, Mark Sanders says that it's the greatest decision they'll ever make. And he said, "Look at me, I've never regretted." That young brother, that 17-year old young brother, struggling whether to go to college or not. That was me.
Brothers and sisters, why are we so convinced that full-time service will lead you young ones to a wonderful life? Well, it's because that's the decision that so many of us made when we were young. Do you remember that 18-year-old young brother who was trying to decide which path to take? Well, that was me some years ago. I'm so glad that with the help of Jehovah and my parents and other mature friends in the congregation, I made the decision, just like so many other brothers and sisters around the world, to turn down that scholarship, to give up university, and go directly into the full-time service. That is a decision that I have never regretted. That is a decision that I will never regret. Young people, Jehovah loves you. He wants you to have a wonderful, awesome life. Choose the path of full-time service if you can. You will never regret it. It will put you on a path that leads to joy and peace with our marvelous, wonderful God, Jehovah.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notice bell so that every time I upload a new video, you will be notified. Stephen Lett even argues that I went from high school straight into full-time ministry, went to Bethel, and he praises the encouragement from members of the congregation and his parents actually to do that.
Peer pressure was put on me to enter the pioneer ministry right out of high school. What a blessing and a protection it was to enter the regular pioneer work at age 17 and to be able to go to Bethel at 18. Even though there was considerable worldly pressure put on me to pursue university education, I am so happy that with Jehovah's help, I decided to build my future with Jehovah.
Tony Morris, the former JW governing body, in one of his broadcasts said the best university will be actually trying to control the mind of your child.
If we are in continued association with those who do not believe the same, it can erode our thinking and convictions. I have long said, the better the university, the greater the danger. The most intelligent and eloquent professors will be trying to reshape the thinking of your child, and their influence can be tremendous. In addition to promoting divine education, what secular skills will we be promoting? Skills that will be useful to God's organization now and after Armageddon. For example, we need construction skills around the world right now.
Has the position of the governing body changed over higher education? And he says no.
Has the governing body changed its position regarding the pursuit of higher secular education? No. We feel that all of the cautions that we have addressed in the past are still valid. However, our goal now is to focus on and intensify our promotion of the pursuit of divine education.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notice bell so that every time I upload a new video, you will be notified. What if even the organization itself is struggling for money? That's what drove another 150,000 witnesses away from the faith. So next we look at failed leadership and financial struggles. Number of people who left, 150,000. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that their leaders, the governing body, are chosen by God. But if that's true, why is the organization struggling financially? In 2023, the Watchtower sold multiple properties, raising serious concerns among members. Congregations were being merged, kingdom halls were being sold, and members were still being asked to donate more. Let's look at the fact check. The Watchtower Society sold multiple properties between 2015 and 2025 due to financial difficulties. Yet members were still expected to increase their donations. Some of these properties were sold in millions of dollars, and when the Brooklyn headquarters was sold, it was sold for around $2 billion. A former JW said this: "They kept saying the end of the world was close. So why were they hoarding money and selling kingdom halls?" Financial struggles were not the only reason. For thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses, stress wasn't just financial, it was psychological. The next 200,000 people left the faith because of mental health and burnout. Jehovah's Witnesses are taught that they can always do more, attend more meetings, preach door to door, start more, obey more. But for many, their constant pressure led to anxiety, depression, and burnout. And unfortunately, what has made the situation worse, the Jehovah's Witnesses has had no mental health program. This is just being realized now. One doctor told his ex-JW patient that he does not know any Jehovah's Witness that he sees who is not on antidepressants. Here's the clip for that.
While some witnesses may find solace in the organization's rigid ideology, others find it difficult to adhere to its rules, leading them to anxiety and depression.
My own doctor said, he didn't have a single Jehovah's Witness patient that he saw that wasn't on antidepressants. Right? And that's a pretty common thing.
Those feelings of anxiety and depression are compounded by the fear that breaking the rules or leaving the organization will result in them being disfellowshipped and shunned by friends and family.
The governing body pushes people to do more and more and more, and yet does not develop a mental health program for its members. But for many, this constant pressure led to anxiety, depression, and burnout. Fact check. Many ex-JWs report mental health struggles due to the pressures of religion. Source: Psychology of Religion 2024. Former JW testimony. "I kept telling myself I wasn't doing enough. Then I realized it will never be enough." Now, but what if there was something much more than burnout that made people to walk away? And not just burnout and exhaustion, but because the world changed. The pandemic just did that. And it caused another 200,000 people to leave the faith in the last decade. Jehovah's Witnesses rely on constant community reinforcement, meetings, conventions, field service. But when the pandemic shut down kingdom halls, something unexpected happened. Many realized their faith was more about habit than true faith. So they are kept constantly moving from meeting to meeting, attending meeting, preaching, moving door to door, attending conventions, field service. So they are constantly on the move. Midweek meetings, Sunday meetings, and several other meetings that they have. They have to have meetings at home. And this does not give Jehovah's Witnesses time to sit, to think, and reflect. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notice bell so that every time I upload a new video, you will be notified. Let's look at the fact check. COVID-19 disrupted worship routines, leading many to question their faith. One former JW said, "Without constant meetings, I finally had time to think for myself." Why did he say I had time to think for myself? Because Jehovah's Witnesses do not think for themselves. The governing body actually thinks for them. There's no need to think. That's why Ralph Walls condemned independent thinking in the JW broadcasting, protect your thinking. And what they call Jehovah's thinking is actually governing body thinking, because most of the things that he explained in that video had nothing to do with Jehovah's thinking. Here's a clip from Ralph Walls.
There is independent thinking that at times comes from our very fellow worshipers. For example, have you ever heard someone say, "You're still just a housewife. Times have changed. Why don't you go get a job?" Or the expression, "Pioneering is not for everyone. You need more training and education if you're going to make it in today's world. Let them tap your talents and skills." I feel the best way to help my disfellowship relative is to stay in touch with him. But you know what? Thinking ability is what protects us from these and other reasonings that don't reflect Jehovah's thinking on matters. And since God created us in his image, it's only logical and realistic that we can have thinking ability only if we adopt God's way of thinking.
In part 2 of this video, we uncover additional 5 reasons that made more people to walk away from the faith. And one of such reasons made more than 850,000 Jehovah's Witnesses to walk away from the faith. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notice bell so that every time I upload a new video, you will be notified. If you have any questions, you are seeking clarifications, please put them in the comment section below. If you think that what I've said is not true, I welcome your challenge. I'm also inviting any JW who would like to have an interview with me. If you're interested in telling your story, kindly use Tell Me Dr. K to give you an opportunity to be able to tell your story to the world. If you want to know the other 5 reasons that actually even made more people to leave, click on this link. Other videos about the impending collapse of JW, click on this link.